So this is a new game for me, first time playing it. It's the old world game. It was hailed as a competitor to Civilization, the Civilization series at the time when it was released a few years back. Since then it's received a number of kind of DLCs, and of which I have currently none. I do want to play the game just straight up first before I actually start to pick up any kind of DLCs or anything like that. We want to see if we like it first, right? Let me just tweak the volume output a little bit here, and then we can get started. This should be fine, I think. Okay. If I just turn monitoring off, that should be okay. Yeah, so as for me, like, this is the first time playing the game, really. I've played up to year 4. And that's the extent of my knowledge or experience with this game. So we are going to be getting some tutorial messages popping up once in a while. And we're kind of going to learn the game together. But I am so far really liking the graphics and the vibe of it. It is set in like the old kingdoms like Macedonia, Greece, Athens. I think possibly Rome as well. Some extensions or DLCs have come out. New ones coming out very soon. Tackle some countries in Asia apparently. I'm kind of excited about that one. And it will add a new biome like jungles as well. Overall I think it's looking really, really nice. And it has a nice kind of semi-realistic look to it. And with a bit of artistic flair, of course, as well. Now, I've just found out that to establish new cities, you need to find these kind of city hubs or sites like this. So it's not like Civ where you can, you can found a city just about anywhere. But in this game you actually need to find these kind of city sites, and then you can head off there with one of your settlers and start a new city. You may encounter a bit of resistance doing this, but if that's the case, you'll have to have a, some sort of armed personnel with you, warrior of sorts. So I'm hoping that the setting itself, being more specific, will have kind of more, detailed kind of custom flair, if you will, for this time period. And from what I've seen so far, it does seem like that might be the case. And with music composed as well for that period. Now, if you're playing the game by yourself, you're not streaming it, there are a lot of different kind of songs that currently are dropped off. They luckily have like a streaming safe mode, so nothing copyrighted should be, streamed. Which will be nice, the music. But that's about, 2/3 of the soundtracks are, disqualified as a result. And even like the intro song in the menu is really, really nice. So, yeah, if you're playing it and not streaming it, just playing for yourself, crank up that music volume and enjoy yourself. So you can see here in the audio, you have like the streaming safe mode, which I have on here. So you see it grays out a lot of the tracks, and I mean a lot. You can see, right? But we still have about, I don't know, maybe half of them, or a third at least, so we'll have to make that, be enough for us. I'll turn up the music just a little bit more, up to 70%. I think that could be fine. Alright, so, like Civ, from what I found out, right, this is like a turn-based game, but it works a little bit differently. Each turn you have a set number of actions, or kind of, what do they call them? Orders you can do. So for me, currently, I think it's about 3 orders per year I can do. And you can use that for anything, like, so you can move your units, you can make attacks, you can found cities, explore. Each of these take one action, so you kind of need to be very specific and kind of goal-oriented in what you're doing. I think the number of actions might increase with time, or possibly through like research or one of the leaders, right? It also has some elements similar to Crusader Kings, so there's a lot more kind of interplay between the characters, and you know, there's going to be pop-up events and those sort of things, which I'm kind of looking forward to see how they play out. Now, I know there is a specific DLC available for that in particular, which has about 300 new events. So like I said, if I really enjoy the game, I might just pick up some of those. But for now, let's just dig in and see if we can figure out how to play this thing. Just have a bit of fun. So I've actually explored and found a couple of potential settlements, or city sites, here to the southwest, and another one to the north here. And being an experienced Civ player, pumping out a settler early on is usually a good idea, so that's actually what I went for. So next year we'll have one of those, and I'm going to send them southwest to form here. I do like it better because we do have like the river that leads into the bay of the Persian Gulf. So I'm hoping that will kind of, most great cities are founded on rivers or by the sea. So more so than this one, right? Which is a bit further inland. But we might, create another city there later on. But for now, let's just go with this one. And let's see, next units. So I'm just going to keep exploring a little bit. Try to color or kind of paint out the map a little bit. Tutorial, tribe contact. Thracian contacted. You met your first tribe, the Thracians. Tribes can engage in limited diplomacy, but generally won't be coordinated in the way opposing nations are. You may also find barbarians when exploring the map. They do not behave like tribes, as you are always at war with them. Barbarians are good targets for early expansion, as they are easier to drive away than a more organized tribe. Finding some barbarians or a weak tribe and claiming their city sites for yourself will be an important step towards growing your nation. I will carefully consider my approach to tribes like the Thracians. So here they are. We also found what looks to be some sort of a shrine. Let's actually go there first. Sacred Tomb. Our expedition approaches an ancient monument. The structure appears to be the tomb of a great leader. An inscription reads, "Passerby, whoever you may be, I was once king of kings. Grudge me not, therefore, this piece of earth that covers my body." Alright, so we do have 3 options here. So we can get, I think this is research. There will be no king but me, destroy it. So legitimacy. I always get a bit tongue-tied when I'm trying to pronounce that word. I don't know why that is. It's one of those things, right? Leave the tomb undisturbed. Let's see, what do we get for that? There's 2 hearts. I'm guessing that's opinion. Oh yeah, so King Nubishadnezar II, the founder of a king that becomes gracious if you do this. Strength is increased. And the queen won't be happy. Apparently she is greedy. Oh, would you look at that? Let's see. Kind of would expect to see that there. Let's see. Because she loses opinion in us because she's greedy. She wants everything we can give her. Gold, jewels, power, whatever can be given. So that's the queen right there. Alright, so I think we might actually... let's be gracious, we'll leave the tomb undisturbed for global influence and strength. Should be able to open up sub kind of menus similar to EU5 and the House of Iron. Let's see. Okay, here we can see that she has a greedy and a schemer. She's the leader of the Thracians. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it undisturbed. Alright, let's go a bit further south. We'll leave the tribe for now. We do have expansion plans already in the making. And I think these are probably going to be like resources, like you see elephants here, resource, and these horses. Sheep. Lavender, that's probably going to be worth a bit of money. I'm trying to see if like the rocks or something were stone or masonry. Okay. Right, so we've now kind of explored the area around, so that's quite good. So you can see now we're actually out of moon points, some kind of actions. So we kind of need to end around or spend 100 of these training points, I think. And then we kind of push it forward if we want to do a bit more, but I'm happy with this for now. But what are all these pop-up things here? Bonus effects? Okay. Tribe contact. Right-click to dismiss, and Control right-click to dismiss all notifications. I wonder if I can right-click to talk to them, like diplomacy. So farm's finished. We're actually going to go down here and build a fishing farm, if you want to call it that. And we have a marriage here as well. So that's good. So that's it for the 1 year. So you can see there's a lot more constraint than you would have in the Civ series. But I think that makes it interesting from a strategic perspective. Okay, so our young niece is actually in here, Princess Kashaya, of age of 13. She's currently being tutored by the king. So it's improved her wisdom, and yeah, so wisdom goes up by 1 by the looks of it. Alright. The second city, settler finished. Your capital has finished training a new settler. Settlers are the key to expanding your nation because only they can found new cities. Take this settler to a nearby city site to establish a new city. City sites can be claimed prior to sending a settler to colonize them. Place a unit of any type on the city site tile to claim it as yours, thereby preventing foreign settlers from founding a city there. Okay, so that's exactly what we've done with those two. I am actually spotting a third city potential to the east here, and this one looks quite good. If it was particularly, we could make it like a naval base and a trade hub, not too far from the capital, which is around here on the map. When you found a city, you will have to choose which family to grant it to. This family will provide power bonuses to the city. After granting a city to a third distinct family, you will lose access to your nation's fourth family. So carefully consider what bonus you want and which family you can go without. Okay, that's a bit of a twist. Interesting. There's something to keep in mind. Okay, I'll choose our next family carefully. So we already have one applied, right? Question is, do I want to settle here then, or... Because I think both of these are going to be very good. I'll start with, with this one here. It does have the river through it, and we do getting some inland resources like, let's see, game, and then elephants close by. Then whatever else pops up, right? That will give us kind of a bit of an inland powerhouse to build on. And the third city I'll be founding here then. We'll see about this one, maybe in the future, but as for now, this will do. Alright, so we should start some other new production here. I think we probably need a new slinger. Simply because we sent our original slinger to protect the second city. Let's keep the capital protected as well. Yeah, so it's going to take 6 years or 6 turns. Alright, so the settler, let's get them moving to the south here. Alright, so we have them here, and I did want to start building up like a these nets here. That'll give us like 10 food production per year and 2 population per year. So how do we do that? Yeah, okay, good. You can see like the -1 there, that would be like the action that we lost, so we have our limited number of actions. I'm wondering where they are displayed on the top here. Don't think I have enough actions to found the city, but let's see. Yeah, so these are the slingers. Yeah, we'll leave them here for now, so they'll be in place to protect the settlers. Actually, I see, 6 years. It'll take a long time to build the slinger. So let me send this one to the east here, actually. Just to claim the building sites, so if there are any other civilizations close by, they won't claim the city site. Turn summary. Yeah, the king has tutored. And what's this? City production. Settler trained. So we have more tutoring available. So she can be tutored further. So I suppose we could move between the different courtiers then, if you want different kind of training. We'll keep using the king, just for now. He does have some really nice kind of abilities and stats, so we'll keep on that. Alright, so next units. You're the first to discover this landmark. What will you name it? Holy Oak Forest. This one here. Nice to have that close to our new city. I think we might be out of movement. You see like -1 here. And down here says end turn. So I think we're actually out of movement points. I'm just trying to find like where it is on the screen, like the action points we have. You would expect it to be somewhere extremely obvious, like next to the year or something, or down here possibly. And turn. We'll figure it out soon enough. Discovered ironworking. That's something from the tech tree. The tech deck. Ironworking discovered. Upon completing the research for a new technology, you will unlock the next technology on the tree, entering it into the discard pile. And 4 new cards will be drawn from the draw pile of available technology for you to select from. Okay, so it's a bit like a board game then, so it's not like an organized tech tree necessarily. So, you know, you can imagine like a huge deck with all kinds of different technologies, and during the board game you shuffle, you just pop it on the table, you know, see what's available that turn. Whereas like in U5 or House, you know exactly where you're going to go and what's available, but it gives a bit of a random element to it. It's kind of interesting. As you after making a new selection from the 4 drawn cards, the remaining 3 cards will be sent to the discard pile and ultimately recycled back into the drawing pile when it's empty. Free units and bonus cards are never recycled and are instead permanently discarded if not chosen. Ah, okay, so we need to keep an eye out for them. Okay, so we need to pick the next technology. So these are the choices we have. Okay, so this is like, yeah, this looks like one of those kind of unit cards. So we could get like a free worker. Once we have, I'm guessing, 10 out of 80, 10.1. I'm assuming the number on the left is like the research points we currently have. So this would take 4 years then, reaching 40. So let's go for this free unit here, because otherwise it'll be discarded permanently and we won't get it later on. And early game, it's good to have more workers help you along the way. So why does this take 2 years instead of 4? So another cool thing I found, you can, like, if you click the middle mouse button, it'll lock the screen, like the pop-up, straight away. So that's how I'm able to keep it up like this. Stone kind of labor force, divination. So 10 something, right? I thought these were 10 research points per round. There might be something else. Out of 40 cost. But somehow still only takes 2. I'm sure we've figured it out later. Alright, so what else? The settler, let's move him down here. Found the city. Inside hunters. You're now known as Nebuchadnezzar the Settler. On the move. Vandals contacted. Our scouts have identified a Vandal settlement in the nearby wilderness. Their camp appears to be temporary and is likely part of a larger migration. The Vandals are on the move. What is your policy towards these savages? Okay, so 6 of these scroll things, which are what? Orders. Okay, so this is like the order number, right then. So we have 7 per turn, is it? Or 12 per turn, and we have 7 left. Because at the start of the game, we just had 3 orders, so it looks like it's grown with the units to some extent. So maybe each unit gets like 1 or 2 actions. And then you have like the global governmental actions as well for all kinds of things, right? Alright, so we could spend 100 of these of training rates to gain a militia in Babylon. This would actually be quite good. And then I could send them, because we're currently training, as you may recall, some slingers. So we could then send them to the new city to the east, or kind of send them south. Yeah, so we have slingers on the way to the city site to the east. We'll send these then south. Either that or keep the send the militia south. So let's do that. We should be getting some new militia here. Hopefully. Is that it? Looks like a militia. So I'm gonna send these out to protect then the Dur Attache. Slingers will keep on going to the east. Yeah, see here's like the interesting thing, right? So if I would have sent the slingers right away, I think I could have moved them further, like you could apply more action. So we only have one, it looks like we have 1 order left. And it looks like you need to kind of split them in some ways. Maybe there's a max you could apply to particular units or unit types. Yeah, still kind of figuring some of these things out, but yeah, so far I'm kind of liking it. It's interesting and different from what I'm used to. So these... Can we speak with these then? So let's bring this up. Leader being Queen Unifrida. Here she is. I will peace. Influence. So it could be a clear war, peace, alliance. Alliance costs 400. What is this called? Training. So we get 8 per round, right? For now. And two order actions. Okay. We also need a diplomatic leader, and we need peace. So the queen is a diplomat, but the king is a scholar. And she's a schemer. She'd be good as an agent or a spy master, apparently. That's cool. Oh. Alright, so we can't do that because our king is not... it's not actually a diplomat. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Let's send the scout further. Do a bit more exploring if we can. Choose production for Dur-Athar. What's this? -1 food in Dur-Athar. Now when you sell, you can actually choose... Oops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's cool. You can actually jump between them with A and D. Yeah, so you can actually sell on any of these kind of hexes, which have these kind of buildings on them. You know, not just the one that's suggested. Well, that might be the best one, generally, in all cases. So, let's see. Settler, worker, scout, militia. We also have these civilian projects. Well, that seems to be kind of general improvements. So we got treasure in a forum. That gives us 1 hammer. What's a hammer? Civics rates. So I'm guessing that's cultural productions, like art and those sort of things. And law, maybe? Use the forum too. So treasury, you know, 10 gold pieces, whatever this is, or monies, 10 monies. Let's call them ducats, you know, from EU5. So 10 monies with ducats, additionally per round. Takes 5 years, and it costs 20 stone, is it? Stone, that's right. So we're currently losing 1 stone per round. Due to units. That's strange. Unless, you know, unless we're using stone spears, but I mean we're past the Bronze Age, right? We're in the Bronze Age at least. So that's kind of odd, I find. That's duels, let's see, and that gives us one of these things, whatever that is. Culture, so that's a culture one, okay. Okay, cities with specials and projects with their civics. And then the last one gives us some civics and some training as well. Okay, let's just get some treasury for now. We'll try that. I don't know if there's like a multiplier, so if you have a larger city, you know, you have a larger tax base, or if it's just like a flat rate for buildings. Alright, so then we just end the year, and I think these are just the summaries of what we've actually done. Kind of looks like it. Let's end the year. Tutorial ambition. You have unlocked the ability to choose an ambition. Ambitions are goals that your family would like for you to pursue. And completing them will grant you and all of your descendants a permanent boost to legitimacy. Completing an ambition unlocks a new one, and completing 10 is one way to win via an ambition victory. Okay, so we have victory goals like in Civ. So always do your best to fulfill your current ambitions. Here are a couple of simple ambitions to get you started. Control 4 cities or kill 5 units. I think we can do this, 4 cities. We're on the way with that in mind as a goal anyways. King Nebuchadnezzar II, the Settler, has started a new ambition. Ambition control 4 cities. Let's keep the slinger moving here. So now I'm going to move them first. You can see the red dots on the top. Okay, so we got 12 orders. Let's see how many uses are. Okay, so uses 3. And that's like the 3 dots. So, okay, so it looks like we have access to 3 potential orders to be applied to the units of the complete unit, the complete order pool, or point. Order pool. Yeah, what am I trying to say here? Like I say in the description, I kind of need a bit of coffee. I'm really tired right now. We're doing our best to keep it all together. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, order point pool, right? Okay, so it's starting to make a bit more sense. So we could do like the maximum movements for another 3 units, or in a mix of things, right? And then you can buy an additional point for 100 training. Well, you know, in general, would try to avoid spending training for that, because it looks like it's useful for a lot of other things as well. And it comes by kind of slowly, right? At the moment, at least. So Sling is going to be there. We'll just station them here for the time being. So it would be kind of nice to get a scout off to the east as well, to get like a, you know, flesh it out a bit more here. We do have the 4 cities in sight that we do want to actually found. So building a few more settlers is in the cards for us. Let's do that. So we got the militia, and I just want to move them down here. So used up another 3 points, 6 here. Okay, it's coming together. It's starting to make more sense now. It's like in most games, you just need to kind of just stop playing and test things out and break stuff, and then, you know, it starts to make more sense. Next unit. I wonder if the coast curls a bit like this or not. So we only have 2 points left now. So we could do possibly some sort of orders. I think like the leaders and spouses might be able to do special actions with them. Okay. How about the Duke's kind of young, isn't he? Make chosen heir. I think we already have an heir. She is the successor, right? Yeah, that's why we want to make sure that she gets trained well. By the time she comes of age, maybe we'll met some more civilizations, in which case scheming might actually be more useful. Alright, so unlock these projects inquiry 1 up to 4. See if we can find out what that is. So it's 40 research and adds 1 culture per week. It's culture, right? Yeah, culture. Science. Right-click to show potential missions. So these are then the missions. So they are active tutoring currently. What are these points on the back there? Plus 60 and plus 20. And then 1 and 2. That might be the succession rate, actually. So she's first in line and he will be second, right? And so she's charismatic, not very wise. She doesn't actually have courage. I see. So you don't necessarily have any... Okay, I guess it just shows up if you actually have like a modifier to it. It's like a quick way to see it, right? She actually has -1 in courage, so she is a... not one to be brought into war, but then again she is a bit of a spy master. Like Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, right? So maybe you can put her to use soon. She is 15, and that's like... back in those days, probably should be getting married at this rate. Maybe in a few more years, like 2 or 3 years, we can start putting her to work as a schemer of sorts. Chancellor, spy master. Yeah, she's currently in the role as a... well, heir, okay. Cost 102 action points. Can create agent network in foreign cities. How do we... because the queen is sitting in 2 different positions, right? As a diplomat and as a consort. So we should be able to make the princess an heir and also the spy master. How do we do that? How do we do that? Now she has schemer and requires portcullis. So that unlocks spy master. Okay. So I think we'll just have to, right, keep an eye out. Okay, this is a tree, but your options and choices seem to be wait, I thought the research was limited, so you get the cards. Maybe that's a different thing entirely, like the cards where we selected a 3 units. Maybe research is not related to that, but I think I picked ironworking from up here as well when we had those as a card. And I thought it was like a, you know, if that's the case, then it's going to be like the random thing, right? Alright, but let's find out where the portcullis is. What's the mini tree like? Okay. So ironworking and administration. Alright, so it's just, yes, this has fewer pictures, right? the picture of the card, basically. It's less detail. So completed is green, and discard pile in deck. Okay, so that's right. And so it is actually part of the deck, so we need to actually draw it. So it kind of works a bit like institutions in EU5 then. Like it's not always available. But sometimes it comes up like through research or like movement of information between states over time. Left click to establish targets. We already have the targets which we're working on. Here, up there. 31. Yeah, let's just wait one more year, and we should have the free worker, and we'll get a new card, I think. Discovered free worker. Okay, the king has tutored the princess in improving her charisma. Or charisma, depending on where you're from. Alright, so now we have these available to pick from. Let's check it in the research tree and border boost. +6 border tiles for all cities. What is that? Does it like increase the control kind of sphere around the city then? Is that what they mean by a border boost or border tiles? You see that would increase the range of control quite a bit. That's 9 years, that's 6 years. Let's have a look at the military drill and sovereignty and metaphysics. So I'll see it in the tree if you can find it. Excuse me. Yes, down here we have military drill. So that's available. That means it's actually one of the choices that are coming up in the deck currently. Sovereignty and metaphysics. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's all making sense now. So it does introduce a bit of randomness to it. So you're not guaranteed the results you want, which makes things interesting. So far, I'm liking a lot of the new systems I'm finding in this game. Might be because it's new to me and different, certainly, but it just kind of shakes up kind of this kind of, you know, like in Civ, like you know how things are built, like you know, everything's kind of bit set in stone from the research side of things, and if you have the units you can move them freely, but here you have to make a bit more of a overall strategic plan about how are you using your orders, like sending your kind of little riders off with letters to the army brigade to like, hey, move off to the east, and you know, you only have so many messengers to send pretty much. Could kind of look at orders like that. Or just like, you know, like, administrative kind of capacity available per round, right, for the government. But we can see we're up to +13 now, so it does increase with time, or at least through some means. It might be through units or research being unlocked, or the size of the let's see, what was the size of the government, or kind of the kingdom or empire, depending on what you have, right? Okay, but we were looking for drills, right, or portcullis. I want to see how we get the spy network. And I also wonder, are these like all the available researchers, or does it continue beyond like this tree? Like if you get to the end, does it unlock the next section? Guess we'll find out, right? Right, so right now I'm just kind of scanning over it, and I'm trying to find something that looks like a portcullis. Here, portcullis. So this gives us a, let's see, a free mace man. Okay, so researching it gives us bonus cards that are added to the deck, I imagine. Oh, that's really cool. It does feel a bit more like a board game. Like if you play those kind of complex strategy board games with friends, this is kind of like what that feels like. You have all these different decks and there's all kinds of overlaid or interlaid systems of cards and dice often and things on the map, right? And then you throw in diplomacy and, you know, interacting with your friends as you're playing, like making deals, that sort of thing. Be a lot of fun. Alright, so we get a free maceman, the onager. But this, it does give some really interesting new kind of strategic elements, unlocking things apparently. Also gives us a moat, so it gives us more hit points for the city and increases city defense by 25%, which is massive. And it gives us the Spy Master. Right, but and also like when you unlock something here, then that would kind of unlock the part of the following technology, I imagine. There's a bit of a method to this as well. Bocardus is a bit further off to the east though, so husbandry would slowly potentially go to kind of drawing of the decks. If the cards align perfectly, it could be like 2 more and then we have Bocardus, right? So do we want husbandry? Or do we want the free card? Because there was like a free thing, right? Border boosts. 6 border tiles. I think that might be quite valuable for us. So I'm actually going to try that, and we'll just have to hope. You draw text from your deck can only do once per year. Alright, so if you don't like the draw, you could potentially draw again, but all these get thrown in this discard pile, and this one actually gets permanently trashed. So we don't want to do that, but it's good to know that that's an option, right? Alright, so let's pick this one. Border boost, and it should hopefully extend our borders a little bit. Now we won't, you know, won't be able to start or found a new city in time for it to be applied to 3 cities, but we'll take what we can get, right? So next unit, what can we do? We can create a farm, which will bring it up to what? An additional 8 food per year if you have a farm. And if it's anything like a lot of these strategy games, like the more food, the faster the growth of the city, potentially. Constructing costs 20 wood and 1 action point. We have plenty of wood, as it is. How about the granary, though? So I'm getting 2 population per year. Minus 1 wood per year. We have 4 wood currently per year. Oh no, wait. What's 4 then? As buy or sell. Okay, so we could take, if I'll take this one. If I want to spur on population growth more than food production, because we have plenty of food as it is. Food rate 11.5. We need more food down at Dur Atnara, but that's like a different region, right? Granary or... Yeah, I thought there was a mine down here. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so let's create a farm, no, a granary up here. We'll start the granary for population growth, and we'll create a mine for production speed. Assuming that's the way it works, right? Iron. The primary source of iron is mines, which are most productive on all and on hills. Iron is needed to build many types of military units, including warriors and axemen, which also requires some iron each turn as upkeep. In the case of deficits, money will be spent to buy the missing resources. Okay. So we need to start producing a bit of that. So let's start building a mine. Costs 20 wood. It takes us 5 years to build. Down to 8 actions. Orders. Just watching them happily work away. You can see the ambitions we picked earlier up here. 0 out of 10, so reaching 10 will win us the game. And we have to build 2 more cities out of the 4. Now, I'm not entirely sure this is like maybe a 51 city limit. That's a lot of cities though. But at least this is the only point we see like the number 2 show up twice, right? So 2 cities, 2 here. So maybe that's what it is. 2 cities built off potentially 51. If we end up with 51 cities, I'm hoping, you know, there's a lot of automation in managing that. We'll find out soon enough, right? Well, not soon enough, but eventually. Okay, so what's all this? Family, it's the Kassite family. Wonder where she is. Can we find out if she was the... okay, so she's a scholar and prosperous. If she's a governor, that will improve culture. So she okay, so we used her down here, so she's been applied down there. I guess we're all part of the Kassite family. Alright. Is her family tree? Succession. Laws. Okay, that's a new thing I haven't seen yet before. Epics. Cost 200 civic. All units gain 10 culture. So 10 culture per unit killed. So if we're doing a lot of warfare, then that's probably a good thing. Exploration. Moon bones along neutral rivers. Scouts can move on water. That's 400 though. So we don't have the points for this yet. Tyranny, Constitution, Divine Rule, Legal Code. Centralization. I build farms on a marsh. 50% of the unit's consumption. No extra unit consumption on outside borders. I'm guessing we raid in that case. Requires aristocracy. Which is probably going to be from the tech tree. Unless it's somewhere here. I think it's probably the tech tree then. Okay. Well, you know, we do need quite a few more civic points to do any of these, so I'm not too worried about it for now. Okay, here we are, succession. So we actually have like a list of people. So this is our father here. Nabopola's the hero. What does he here do? It's a general. Heal in neutral territory. It's a general. Launch offensive. Now I wonder how much, you know, the Queen can do for us, like how effective she is in government or any sort of activities, right? Can we put her to work a bit more? Let's see. Yeah, so actually when we click here as well, we get the action options as well on the right, which is good. It needs to be at least 10 to do any of these things. She is about to come of age. She's 16 already. I kind of wonder if the portrait is going to change as they age. That'll be interesting. They have like a picture for each decade, right? Also. Or 2 decades. Influence via. What's the difference between tutor and influence? Influence via king in the Bushadar. Takes 2 years to complete. 50%, I'm guessing, chance, right? Influence exerted becomes influenced by king. 25% chance influence exposes our weaknesses. %25 chance that the king gets experience. Price. I don't know. Maybe like these random events that pop up then, like influence events. Like the tutoring seems to be fairly safe, just to kind of increase our stats with time, right? So might as well do that. Next units. So we have the slinger here. We can actually move them a little bit further. Might as well kind of not research, but explore the area around while we're waiting. Press tab for next units. See it down there. So that's a good thing. We can quickly move about. So militia, we'll just move them in here and make them fortify. That's the thing. Check out the map modes. Danger overlay. Zone of control. Okay, so if you hold down the key on the map mode, that's when we cannot see it. Good luck scrolling though when that's applied. Okay, so instead of holding down the key, you need to kind of tap it on the keyboard to do so. Promotion units. Trade networks. Roads and rivers. Okay. Obviously, like roads and, well, rivers would have been hugely important back in the day. Rival players. Resources. Citrus, olives, elephants, game, and what else do we have here? Assuming a little bit more. Oh, okay, so it actually toggles on enough. Well, if you right click, it'll toggle on enough. Okay, much better. Instead I have to hold it down there continually, right? Current yields. That seems to be like the default map modes a lot of times. Show custom overlay. Yeah, maybe that's something you can modify yourself with like all kinds of... turn all these different things on. Okay. Gold, wow. We were lucky with this one. And lavender as well, very close by. With the border boost, maybe we'll be able to reach the lavender as well. And well, we do have silver here as well, so maybe taking care of these vandals might be worth looking into. So their power edge, they're much stronger than us at the moment. F1 hints. So we can get the information about the tribes again, just to refresh my memory. Let's see. Tribe. We had rebels and then vandals. Units, marauders, skirmishers, elites. So these seem to be like, just the clans, right, with different names. So the Vandal clan and the Thracian clan. Okay, makes sense now. Elite Peltast. Stars as a Highlander. Okay. So what are the Scots doing all the way down here in Macedonia? I wonder. Okay, Scythians, horse archers and such. Interesting. Okay, so rebel units are spawned from cities with families with a negative opinion. These units will prefer to attack units of the nation from which they spawned. Rebel units remember their original family. So units of the same family receive a minus 10% combat modifier. Numidians. Gauls, yeah. Also would have been Asterix, the cartoon, right? That would have been the Gauls. Oh, the Romans were fighting the Gauls up in the north. You have the Danes, of course. Okay, so I can see the general power level here, I see. Comparison of the military strength of the two nations and all tribes with the following levels. Barbarians occupy city sites like other tribes, but they are in a permanent state of war with all nations. Think Conan the Barbarian, if you will. Anarchy. The city is breached, it enters a state of anarchy. This state continues until the city is fully captured by the nation or tribe and positions of military units in the city center. So basically they are more powerful than us at the moment, and we want to be looking out, be careful. A truce. You cannot attack each other without declaring war. Truce cannot be ended by war until 5 turns are passed. Stop state religion. Do we not have a... We might not have a state religion yet. There might be like a research we need to do. Okay, well, we were gonna try to find the coast here to the south. Out of points. Press 6 to end year. It's an interesting key. So we got a bit more citrus here. I do like the looks of the units. I look forward to trying some battles as well with them. See what that kind of plays out like. Like in Civ 7, like the graphics there are fantastic. Say what you will about the gameplay, like I know there's a split opinion, massively split opinion on that one. You know, sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't love it quite as much. The transition of the ages, etc. I know there's some options now to avoid that transition, at least not like it was. So last time I played Civ 7 a few months ago, you had the option to, well, for your units no longer to be, I think it was something like that, right? The units, at the start of new transition age, you would call all units back and you just get like a default number of units in your kind of, in your towns and cities, spread out through the empire. But you could also have like army general, and if you stacked on them, that would kind of hold them safe through the transition of the ages on top of the default kind of setup you had. So I think it actually had the option that the units and wars would maintain all the ages, right? Because before it was really, you know, it kind of broke immersion a bit. So you could be launching an attack at a city, like an enemy, and then, you know, a couple of turns go through and the age finishes, and then suddenly all is forgotten, you know. You're no longer at war, your troops have been recalled, like even if you're like far off to some front to the east or west of wherever you were. And it just didn't make a lot of sense, right? But it gave you like, so each age kind of give you that experience of, instead of it being long, like one massive game, which would often end a bit earlier than like the modern age, if you're playing like older Civ games, each age would feel a bit and play out a bit like its own contained mini game within like the arc of your civilization, right? In Civ. Yeah, but this feels a bit different, right? Because it is focused on just this particular period in time. And so they don't need to worry about like modernization, railroads, coal and whatnot, right? It does have like a bit more of a board gamey feel though, as I mentioned earlier. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a bit different. Okay, so next unit, that was tab, right? This one's out of moves. Yeah. Fatigue, I did think I saw that. Tutorial, unit fatigue. This slinger has used all of his moves and become fatigued. A fatigued unit can still be moved with a forced march, but each move on the forced march costs twice as many orders to execute. The slinger will refresh its moves next turn. Okay, I guess this is a tutorial event. I'll force march a unit if I need it to move now. Yes, we'll do that. Don't like it though, because it looks like I'll have to spend the, you know, the training, which is not really what I want to do. But it looks like a, you know, a tutorial event, so let's do it. Click. And then we can totally a waste of points, right? But well, we found somebody, right? So maybe it was with it. Some more vandals. Oh no! So we had barbarians to our west and to the east. But the Thracians seem to be upset with us. That's because of the old altar which we left, which was where? Is it here? Remember we found these kind of old relics, right? Where was it? City site. Might have been here. This might have been it. So we decided to leave it, but the Thracians, their queen, being greedy as she was, didn't like it. So now they have negative opinion on us. So we currently have a truce with them, but that might change. Might change. Alright, and yeah. Duke Marduk Nadine Ahi is now old enough to be tutored by courtiers. After recent exposure to danger, Princess Kashaya, your daughter, has acquired new phobias and lost one courage. She was already not courageous. Our heirs' education. Time passes quickly. Duke Marduk Nadi Ahi is growing up fast and eager to learn. How would you like to educate him? Let's have him study commerce. That's probably a good idea. Can lead a commander, schemer, orator, builder, or diplomat. Yeah, a bit more gold. It's often a good idea in the earlier period, particularly, to build up your economy and everything related to that. There we go. So we have a fairly good idea about what we have around us at this point. We have the Indian Ocean next to the Persian Gulf. So as soon as we have a slinger here, I'm gonna create another settler. We found this one, and then need to head up here too. And that will give us 4. Right, so with the militia, can we make them just rest? How do we do that? Click. City is connected to its capital. Okay, we're currently building a treasury. Sentry, here it is. Wake up if enemy appears within 5 tiles. Expand sleep until the unit is moved or attacked. Or pass. A space. This space. Control space. Yeah, we'll put them on sentry mode. They're primarily to protect the city. Alright, so we found the coastline. I mean, we could, of course, if you build a city here and then build some boats eventually, that's a quick way to explore the coastline, I think. Some more vandals. Yeah, she has a lot of influence in this region, it would seem. What's her opinion of us? It's cautious. We can work with that, we don't have to war with them. Or maybe we want to focus on the Thracians instead. Well, they're much stronger, of course. What can we do to improve the opinion? Do we have like diplomatic actions we can do? Let's see, help screen. Missions. It's the one we picked. Victory progress. Conquest. Remaining opponents 4. So if you defeat them all, I guess we win. 26 victory points. 10 ambition points. Okay, so out of 51. Okay, so here we're getting explanation for it. Alright. Oh, it's up here too. If any of your opponents reach 51 points, the game ends. We currently have 2 victory points from weak cities. Tech and wonders. Ambitions and score. Timeline. That's the research city screen. Nice overview, like in Civ. Replay your actions. Yeah, so probably more useful if we close this screen, right? Yeah. Ah, click to show a high music player. Music requires researching drama. That's good. That's funny. I mean, it's not a quality of life thing as a player, but I appreciate the humor behind it. Alright, so what else do we want to do here? Maybe just send them off to the east and I finish just exploring the local area close to us. Yeah, that kind of used up our points, unless we have nations, vandals, Thracians. Okay, so I'm guessing influence might be useful for kind of improving relationships, etc. Okay, so that's the general diplomacy. So you have less granularity, but some more kind of percentage-based options, right? Here we have the list of units. What they are doing. Sentry. Six, right. Discard the border boost. King Nebuchadnezzar II, the Sellers, tutored Princess Kashaya, improving her courage. Well, that's good. Then she's only at -1 instead of -2. Maybe she'll be a half-decent general in the end. Filters. Okay, that's just for this screen, I see. Okay. And here as well, right? That's actually quite intuitive. Let's see. Adopting a state religion improves that religion's opinion, increases happiness in cities of that religion, and also enables recruitment of disciplines in those cities. I'm guessing those are like priests. A disciple can spread his religion, build improvements of his religion, and with orthodoxy law, purge other religions from cities. Disciples can only be built in cities with its religion if the city is its holy city, if it's a state religion, or if the nation has a tolerance law. Idle disciples produce a small yield amount if positioned on any improvement of their religion. For example, a disciple on a monastery will produce some science each turn. This is actually worth getting into then. Okay. Funds automatically requirements of mats, collides, ranches. Okay. This might be related to the cards and research then a bit. I see. Okay, okay. Well, at least there aren't any cards which we need to pick this round. So let's have a look at what we're going for again. So if you look at the research tree. Okay, so we're going for portcullis. We need the wheel and husbandry. So let's start with that. Pick that now. Okay, 5 years. So we're on the track towards husbandry then. Towards portcullis for our spy master to be unlocked. Chancellor though, requires the spoked wheel. A zealot, a judge, or a builder. Okay, yeah, so now we should see the expanded kind of control we had due to the card we picked last time. It was like +6, I think. It should be for all cities. So it kind of looks like it expanded into the forest and particularly to the south for these resources, which is very, very nice. Oh look, honey. That's something for the tea. Now, another really cool thing with scouts is they can actually, if in neutral or friendly forest, they can actually hide. So, very good for keeping an eye out for incoming enemies. Or just like a spy network, right? Anything else we want to do here? Yes, we need to start producing a settler for 5 years. Another one here. We'll start here. And then up to the north as well afterwards. Down here we needed food, seem to recall. So we could start, if you do another settler here, we'll have, in 7 years, we'll have the 2 we need. The work would help with the food situation though. So -1 food in Durathara. I mean, 2 or 3, that's the stockpile, right? So it's not like we need food anytime soon, if I'm not mistaken. Food rate 9.5. Yeah, let's go for the settler and get that out of the way. Well, 7 years time, I think we could still take that. Like we have a net of +9, right? So that's enough. And the units are taking up quite a bit of food as well. Okay. Right. what the stage is at. Okay. I'm guessing we can make another mine here if you wanted to. Upgrade. Upgrade to militia. No. Let's make another mine. There was a third building, right? We had farm. I guess it's the farm, the granary. And maybe you can build a mine on any kind of flatland, which, you know, might be why it showed up here now, here, because it wasn't there before, I think. Let's see, adjacent. 5.5. 5.5 a year. Yeah, okay, I suppose. I mean, we have a few more units, right? Okay, next unit. Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? Up here. Tutorial undo. You can undo as many decisions as you want, including moves, combat, building, improvements. An event charges up to the 5 past turns. That's a lot. So you can go back in time. Or maybe it's like the last 5 units or actions done, right? Rather than 5 past years. Undo is performed with Control Z or by pressing the backwards arrow button in the bottom left of the screen. On here, right? I'll undo some moves if I need to. Yeah, I'm fine for now. So we should have a few more moves here. Oh, because this one's out of moves. You can see here. Do we have any other units that can actually do something? We have the slinger. For 100, we could possibly improve them. So we can't change the unit type, but we can actually improve the stats then. Add a general. Consumes 1 action. Add a general to lead the slinger. Must be 18 and younger than 50. Must not be of a different family than the Kassites. Ah. Well, currently I think they, you know, they're all better served for something else, but it's good to know that's the way to do it. So we're gonna make them, I don't know, do we want to keep them here or do we send them out to one of the new cities? Maybe we'll send them up to the city side up here to north, and it'll take a while to get there. Sure, let's do that. We'll take a slight risk, but then again, maybe it's better to move them with the settler later on. Yeah. But what I'm thinking though is, like, while we are training the settlers, there's not really that much else to do. So we might as well use the orders to actually get them in position, right? Because it's not like we can move them adjacently necessarily, because each unit would then require their individual orders. And we only have a set number per round. Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it now then. Next units. Look down here. I'm a little bit tempted to look around the Vandal settlement over here. I suppose exploring here isn't too bad of an idea. And yeah, 6. Your wife has given birth to a daughter, Duchess Ahatsuno. Oh, here she is. Wee little one. Sexagesimal numbers. Babylonian numbers are based on 60. A figure with many devices that make performing both complex and everyday mathematical equations possible using the thumb to point to the finger bones of each hand. Ah, it's the first I hear of this. It's interesting. Marduk Nadinahi has a natural affinity for numbers, quickly learning to adopt the system in an impressive manner of ways. The royal tutors ask what direction you would like them to push Marduk Nadinahi in applying these talents. Let him explore the theoretical boundaries of mathematics or encourage practical application in engineering and mechanics. So if he becomes a governor, that will increase the... what's a science? 1 science year per culture level. Okay. Alright, if he goes into engineering and mechanics, what's the strength though? Is that like a military thing? The bull. Strength. Positive cat trait, of which cat normally can have a maximum of 3. Be nice if it would show me what it is actually, but yeah, I guess we can do F1 and just look for strength. Here we go. Concept. Okay, doesn't tell me anything more. Okay, both will give strength up to 3, never mind, doesn't matter then. It's just a question about whether we want it to be a global application of is that wisdom? How? Is wisdom, right? The princess is already quite clever, so she could focus on like the research part. So maybe we should do this instead. As a governor, we get 1 research a year per culture level. Now, how do we increase, as a leader, all cities get 0.5 research a year per culture level. How do we increase the culture level? That's what I'm wondering about. Culture. When the city's culture bar fills up, a positive event occurs, and the city's overall culture level increases. Well, there we go. So I'm guessing you build specific structures to increase the culture. Culture level affects which improvements and wonders can be built in the city's territory, or whether the city can hurry production. You know, I'm really liking this game. I must say, I know I've said it a few times, but there's so many kind of fresh kind of systems to it that I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't like spread, become more popular or kind of. I mean, it's competing against Civ right at the time when it released. This has a lot of unique elements, and I'm really happy to see that it's doing well as well. Because like I said, there's new DLC just about to come out like in the near future, which means they're still developing it, which means they're still making money from the game. From like, people purchasing the DLCs or getting into it for the first time. That's a sign of a healthy game usually. So, might be worth getting into a little bit more in that case. I think they have like 4 or 5 DLCs already, predating the current one that's on the way, about to come out, the one which will kind of unlock some parts of Asia. And, with the focus being on a like tighter time period, you can see like already like the art style and everything is very kind of honed in on that particular theme, which kind of gives you, it's really good for kind of drawing into that experience. And I'm enjoying it. I do like this time period as well. Okay, so let's do... let him explore the theoretical boundaries of mathematics. Tutorial succession. Ahadzunu is born. Your family line has a new heir, Duchess Ahadzunu. Training strong heirs will be vital for the survival of your nation. Once your current ruler is gone, someone will need to take the reins. Once your heir has grown up a bit, you'll be able to choose an educational path to guide them in the role you need them to fulfill. The first 4 heirs in the succession are members of your court, and their ratings will affect your global yields. For example, an heir with high wisdom will increase your science. Alright, so yeah, this being the succession, right? So the first 4 here will influence global yields. So also 1, 2, 3, right? Doesn't seem like a problem right now. They only have 4, but let me tell you about my Java playthrough in Indonesia in EU5, where I had 3 or 4 wives and probably 8 or 10 children, if not more. He was a busy little beaver, our ruler. So it can happen. Maybe they'll have a harem, right? Which is like relevant, and during this time period particularly, that wasn't unheard of for kings, right? All right, this is a date for celebration. So 20 culture in Babylon. So let me have a quick look here, actually. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to set this one here to start production on another wheat farm. That's good. You can just click the icon as well. Yeah, so I'm figuring out like the intricacies and shortcuts in the game as well as I play. The more I play it, kind of the easier it becomes to do things. The next unit. So I'm just going to loop about and then head back down south here. Kind of slow going through the woods though. Okay, 3 movement points done. 6 units. Is that that's a slinger? Yes, that's right. We're going to send them up to the city site there, just in preparation. Right, we'll put them here, and we will then ask them to sentry. So we could have him explore a little bit around the area, right? That would be, in preparation for the settlers, just to make sure we kind of know what's about us a little bit more. Up here. You're the first to discover this landmark. What will you name it? The Arcus River. Yeah, sounds good to me. There's this one here. Kind of looks like it goes into the sea as well. We've got 20 something. I think it was 20 monies. Maybe we do some trade with the Vandals, who knows. What's this? Dice? Giant seashells? So we're out of movement points. 0 just out of here. And you have the end of year action down there. And you're here as well. Oh, sounds like there's a storm on the horizon down here. Did you hear that? The thunder? Oh, that's cool. I wonder if that's like everywhere. Like, yeah. That's the fog of war. To the west as well. I wonder how large the map is going to be as well. So we're just starting here. Maybe, I mean, it might be, this big, right? These being the corners. Or we could just keep going and scroll the minimap, like in Civ, right? We won't know until we reach the end of the earth and see if we fall off or not. Let's end the year. Getting closer to getting those settlers all set up. Princess Kashyana, your daughter, has recently proven herself, proven her good sense and insight. She has gained wisdom. Enchanting conversation. During a royal feast, you share an enchanting conversation with one of your minor courtiers. The wine flows freely. As the two of you talk late into the night, the revelry comes to a close, but your companion lingers on as the rest of the guests depart. Whatever will our wife think? But we do need more heirs, don't we? Requires the king not to be carnal. Okay. Let us see what the night takes us. Terrible threats. A messenger from the Thracians awaits you at court today. The bearer message from Queen Abrotonon. The time of Babylonia is at an end. I've decided to destroy you. I'll tell you this so that you know your downfall is by my hand. It amuses me for you to know, and yet be unable to avoid it. Grim news. Thracians are a truce and peace country, but they're not going to be that anymore. Queen Abrotonon starts plotting against King Nebuchadnezzar II. So this does change our plans. We'll have to kind of prepare for war now, and the Thracians are stronger than we are. Luckily, the Vandals are, well, much stronger than us, but they are, we have a better relation with them. So maybe you could turn that to our favor. Maybe it's possible to ally with them against the Thracians. Who knows? But now we're starting to look into maybe getting generals and creating some more units. So we have 3 more years until we have 2 settlers. Oh, 5 years. Okay, never mind. At least 2 years here for settler. I will be settling to the east here at this site rather than heading north straight away, because of the Thracians being closer to the west here. We haven't seen the Thracians in the north here, or like, they probably have cities up here or kind of settlements, but we have to find out. I might actually send the scout north as well, just to kind of keep an eye on them, get some more information. Let's see if we can do, it's too bad we can't use the spy master here. That could be good for assassinating their generals and such. Yeah, so things are kicking off. Let's see. Pen movement points? No, okay, pen left, right. Oh, barbarians. These are all going to be at war all the time. Permanent or state of war with all nations. So we want to stay clear of them. Oh, that's cool. If you go over here, you can actually see the odds, right? Slinger, skirmishers. Is a skirmisher a range unit? It looks like they have javelins, right? I wonder. I wonder. I think I'll avoid attacking them. I really don't want to do that straight away. No need to antagonize them and kind of let them know I'm here. I think we'll head south. But then again, maybe we get experience if we attack them. And they're going to be aggressive all the time anyways. So let's do it, because it's fun, and we'll see what it looks like. Maybe right-click. And if you're lucky, we could clear out the camp. We're across a river, so maybe they'll give us like a river crossing modifier if they try to come out and attack us. You know, if we're assuming they're melee units. Slinger, skirmisher. I can't really see whether they're ranged or not. X units. Let's go up here. We have discovered the lake of Vetsana. Olives. Alright, we might be out of movement points for this unit, anyways. Just finish this while we're here. We're almost done with this, right? Here we go. End of year. I do want to get a scout off to the west, just in case we actually get any, you know, if the Thracians start sending any troops our way. We want to be, you know, we want to know well before, so we can maybe prepare for it. Right, let's see what happens here if we end the year, whether they come out for us or not. See what the barbarians do. Yes, it's a ranged unit. Fruitful affair. Oh, was that the night? Yeah, because it's a year, isn't it? Each time is a year. 9 months ago, the morning after a great feast, you woke up next to one of your minor courtiers. The affair was short, but fruitful. Your new child cannot inherit the throne, but it will surely be a blessing to your household. But there you go, right? This is good. I think. So we get an illegitimate child. And Queen Consort Armtis. Her? Becomes estranged from king. Oh no. Well, of course she found out now that child is on the way. Opinion minus 100. Oh no. Oh no. This might not be too great after all. Well, we get a kid, right? Maybe we can do something. Maybe they'll grow to be a great general. So the queen here. Let's see. Opinion of you is cautious. It's gonna go down to minus 40. Oh, this gonna hurt. You have a new illegitimate daughter, Etu. Hey, Etu. A cute little spud, that is. Okay, she's mission to legitimize. She's currently a bastard. You're such a bastard, Etu. You're such a bastard. How do we do that? Legitimize event. F1 to open associated encyclopedia entry. Let's try that. There is none, apparently. Okay. Let's look at the queen, though. Minus 40, she's upset. Oh, of course she is. Things were going so well, but then you got drunk and slept with one of your courtiers. I feel like I'm playing Crusader Kings. That's so good. I love it. But yeah, let's look at the legitimize. See if that shows something. Legitimacy, right? Okay, legitimacy comes from achieving ambitions and acquiring better cognomens, such as the great, like sir, kind of titles, right? Oh, okay. We get points for doing these things. But that's not the kind of yes, this one we're looking for mission. So if you have a bastard, cost 2 points. So bastard cannot marry, excluded from succession. So we could possibly legitimize our child by spending 2 actions on that. And if they're legitimized, they get 40 opinion, you know, plus 40 opinion. Oh, see the last line there? Alright, I'm going to read this, but the last line is the main line here, because we just messed up. Cadre's opinion affects direct yields from successes, spouses, agents, and courtiers, the cost of missions, combat effectiveness as generals, and the discontent of cities as governors. Opinion of the heads of families, religions, nations, and tribes will also affect the opinion towards you of those entities as a whole. A spouse's opinion will also proportionally affect your likelihood of having a child with them. Uh-oh. But hey, we already have like a 4 kid here, so yeah, should be fine. Make the chosen heir. They would love that, wouldn't they? I would have thought that the legitimized action would be here somewhere. I'm not going to make them the chosen heir, but I do want to... Oh, she's not here yet. Okay, so where's, what's her name? Ikemi. Agents... Okay, so let's do this in a way so we'll influence via the... I want to try out see what the influence thing does. Generals, possible generals. What's this? Tactician. Jeremy T. the herbalist, age 37. Sergeant General. Plus 2 vision range. Alright, so we'll use her as a... from the Kassite Hunter family. Oh, she's our governor to the south, isn't she? We could make her a general if we need it. Ambassador, Chancellor. Yeah, we just spoke the wheel to be able to move quickly between areas, right? Become one such. Notable characters. So this is where I would expect to find her. All characters. If not, where is she? Ezio the bastard. Okay. Legitimize. Alright. Could change succession. No, but she's like super young. She's like age 0. She's just the next one in line, basically. Well, the 4th in line, basically. Let's legitimize her. There we go. 2 actions. Might be a few people upset, but there you go. Now, I'm wondering, can I do something for the queen? Sign, influence via the king. So maybe this would have been an action to improve her opinion of us, because it's unfortunate right now. What's this? Tribal peace. The 2 nations at peace can attack each other. They're also less likely to declare war on each other. I would like to see the notable events, like a list of them. Yeah, that's nice. So if you look at the queen, 6 events. A fruitful affair. Right there. There it is. For all to see. A little bastard which has now been legitimized as a potential heir. I'm sure the royal family loves this. The king is reaping popularity points from all sides at this point. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. What do we do next? Next units. So we should have some movement points left. Let's get away from the barbarians. We will make a tactical relocation. Some may call it a retreat, but it's actually a misnomer. We're just, you know, relocating. Okay, so this should help. These are shielded barbarians as well, with spears and shields. Okay. So we only get the details it looks like when we're actually about to attack them. Alright, next units. That's pretty good, isn't it? Let's go to down here now. We'll have a little poke here to the west into the clouds and see if there's any more Thracians about. Now, Thracians, I don't know, is this Greek or where are they from? I mean, you know, I've heard about the cultures, and it's like a Greek one, isn't it? Or something similar close by. Babylonian, maybe. But it does remind me of Conan the Barbarian, like the name of Thracians. Something about it reminds me of Conan the Barbarian and his world, like with Crom and all that good stuff. So that's it for their movement points. We don't want to use any orders or kind of training rates on that. Let's just fill up this cloud just in case there's anything interesting there. Oh yeah, we have the it's interesting place here to explore. All right, worker, Mr. Worker Bee. Another mine. Sure, maybe. We could also send it to the south and start kind of working on things around here. But I suppose getting the... oh, we're out of orders anyways. Yeah, I suppose getting the capital kind of really booming first might be a good idea. Yeah, let's end the year. Connections versus relations. For a long time, the Kassite family has expected to marry one of their scions to Princess Ashaya. But more recently, the Thracians have offered to formalize our peaceful dealings if one of their men can marry Kassai instead. That's an interesting proposition. While our agreement with the Kassites was informal, breaking it would still have some repercussions. On the other hand, making peace with the Thracians could have many benefits. So we could get peace if we were to marry off our civilized, highly educated Princess Kassaya to a barbarian, a wild man. Look at him. Look at this guy over here. Look like that guy from God of War, you know. Probably doesn't even know how to write. And here we have the Queen's very daughter, who should spend years improving and training under the guidance of the King Nebuchadnezzar II to become the next ruler. Now the Kassites we have, I mean, we have them in our capital, I think. The family of Kassite, and also in the other city to the south there. Let's see what the options are. If they marry the Thracians, their opinion will increase by 20. We did lose 40 points. I think at least 20 points. Not sure if it was 40. At least 20 by not desecrating a grave of an ancient fallen king. Strange, right? But that's what the barbarians were about. They were just wanting to smash it up, get whatever loot they could get from it. But we said, no, we're not going to. We will honor the deceased fallen and leave this reliquary of their demise as it is. They didn't like that. They did not like that. Okay, so marrying them will... Lores will join our nation of Babylonians. Can we get information about the Lores? 25. Commander. Heckler. Courageous and disciplined. You would be great for as a general then. Interesting. What the Heckler do though? So general 25% was so you can do like a general fight. Interesting. Well, you won't be the leader. But all units will get up 10% for the general. Now, on the other hand, going the civilized routes, marrying... Well, he's 45 though, and she's 23, and... Ah, but they're both schemers. They could work so well together. That's really nice. Okay. And we can also make the choice just directly here, right? I mean, internally, we should probably marry her off to Shumadawiti. War, if you want to go the war route. And then maybe the Thracian would be the way to go. We'll join the nation of Babylonia. Let's go for that. Let's go the war route. Babylonia is now at peace with the Thracians. Number lists. Number lists are used to work on complex calculations. The tablet can give the answer to common problems. Madhuk Nadiahi has impressed his tutors by working on calculations not previously recorded and finding the exact amount for divisions that do not come out evenly. Very impressive. Okay, so we could go for global research. He gets it from wisdom, or he gets what's it again? Discipline. Okay. So it's interesting that it's not just applied to warfare. It seems to be applied to various different kind of facets of governance. A lot of them have to do with money, though. So even as a courtier, which he currently is, you gain us some money. So plus 12. That's quite a bit, actually, because we're currently doing like 47. Plus 12 is a nice bonus on that. Quite a big one, actually. Though... 0.5 research, currently 23. Lead the commander, schemer, orator. What's orator? Is that diplomats? Governor. Yeah, I guess like, you know. Somebody else good with words, so you'd be good in administration, right? Or builder. 0.5 global research isn't that much, because we're like at 23, right? And an additional wisdom. So maximum of 3. So here, so... This is Chancellor. I do like that all these choices actually seem meaningful. And I'm having to think about it a little bit before I make my choice here. Okay, but I think maybe we'll go for this, and discipline, which could help depending on what we do. We're not going to make him a spy master, but he might become a chancellor. And he's what, second? Yeah, so in case the princess, you know, because she's not married off to a barbarian, who knows what's going to happen to her? Might be riding the plains, you know, like Khan. Raiding with her husband, like Khaleesi. So she might become great, or she might be lost during these trips. Who knows? So I'm gonna go with this. Onto more practical skills. So we'll go for this. Discipline and a bit of gold income. There we go. Earl Grey, hot. Oh, Earl Grey is one of my favorite teas, actually. I drink it on a regular basis, actually. In fact. Earl Grey, hot. The court has been abuzz about the exploits of Nabopolassar the Prosperous. It seems that during his travels he discovered a wonderful new hot drink, and now anybody wants to try some of Nabopolassar the Prosperous himself wants to try some, and Nabopolassar the Prosperous himself has become something of a celebrity. Having tried some of this new drink yourself recently, you definitely understand its appeal. It occurs to you that you could easily gain monopoly over the drink, and perhaps you should. Should we give in to the greed, or should we give the glory to the discoverer himself? Maybe we can buy him off, give him a nice retirement. Let's see, what option do we get? Let's take control of the key, but let's be smart about it and pay the Kassite a fair price. Minus 480, that's quite, yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Adds the tea luxury. Let us not only take control of the supply of tea, but of the talented merchant to introduce it to our realm. Oh, he becomes a court merchant. And that costs us, what, 390 civics. This might actually be worth it. It's the same kind of money, though. A little bit less money. But we also get him as a courtier, and that's really good. What does the court merchant do for us? Court merchants. So each courtier, yeah, costs us a bit of gold or money. All courtiers can serve, yada yada. Global yield, 1/3 leader. Yeah, they affect your global yields at 1/3 of the rails leader. So I'm guessing, yeah, that sounds really good actually. The last one, Alice, no, we're not in a position to take advantage. No, we'll do this. We'll go for the second one. Let's not only take control of supply tea, but of the talented merchant introduced it to our realm. We'll make him a courtier. Here is courtier. I do want to see, you know, what the family actual governors. Yeah, showing us on. Cautious now. We should see our barbarian husband here somewhere. If you look at the succession, maybe. Here he is. Prince Consort Oloris. I'm gonna try to take full advantage of him if possible. Ambassador. Tribe opinion, religion opinion. What does an ambassador do? How does it work differently? So does it unlock like missions we can do? Through the ambassador, so these are like the actions they could take, maybe? We should also be able to make him a general, I think. Look at the... let's find one of the armies we have. So if you look at this one. The general. Here he is. Awesome. Okay. So that's the way we do it. Alright, and then we have Saddler. Or Settler. Let's send them off here. Okay, this one will move down south here as well. Okay, new production. Acadian Archer. Cimmerian Archer. In like Conan the Barbarians, they were like Cimmerians, like was like the main nation, so maybe it's based off the Babylonians. You can actually create a specialists, minor, armor. That's interesting. So if we add them on top of the resources, maybe they they boost them. And they might actually increase yields in research and population. Oh, this is quite interesting. Quite interesting. We haven't even created any civic projects in the capital. That's another thing, right? Yeah, but we're missing 150 wood. How do we increase the wood rates? We have plenty of trees. We just need to chop a bit more of them down a little bit faster. Near points. So we could do a slinger. And what are these options? Okay, yeah, so if I click here, it will add the specialists. Okay. Well, we don't have war incoming in the city straight away. I do like the idea of having a, we need somebody in the capital, right? Somebody to protect. Sentinel. That's 20% defense in national territory. Yeah, we need to get a slinger in there. For now, we can get the Arcadian ventilator stronghold. What's that? Requires stronghold. Okay, so we actually need the research as well to be able to get these here. Okay. 6 years. Well, I think at this point I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. This game has really taken me for a bit of a ride. I've been playing for about 2.5 hours now. I was just gonna have a little peek, but I've been having so much fun. I think for anybody who really enjoys like strategy with different layers to them and a bit of family implications mixed into it, some random events maybe, and a slightly more kind of, board game feel if you compare it to Civ. Because you have those deck of cards, right, for your researchers. There isn't like a guarantee that you necessarily get the research you necessarily want next round. You have a stack of cards and there's some randomization to it, and then whenever you research things, you'll get like potential bonus cards, which you have to choose to select when they come up if you do want to use them, right? All kinds of stuff like that. Anybody who likes those sort of things mixed together, I think it's well worth just having a look at this game here. And maybe giving it a shot. It's might be a hidden gem. Old World it's called. You can find it on Steam. Not sponsored, by the way. It's just, I've been enjoying it a lot. So there you go. Alright, in any case, I hope you enjoy the stream. Enjoy the rest of the evening or afternoon, whatever the case may be. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.